Ducati course. General Manager Gigi Dall'Igna has called for resilience and calm after a frustrating Austrian Grand Prix weekend for Francesco Bagnaia. Coming into Austria, Bagnaia had history on his side. With 3 consecutive victories at the Red Bull Ring in past seasons, optimism was high that the Italian could bounce back and challenge for the podium again. His pace in Friday practice seemed to confirm that confidence, showing flashes of the form that once made him unstoppable at the venue. But the weekend unraveled quickly. A rear tire issue forced Bagnaia out of the sprint race, and when Sunday came, his early speed faded. Instead of mounting a podium fight, the Ducati rider struggled to an 8th-place finish, a bitter pill to swallow at a track where he was expected to shine.
Welcome to GP Time. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates.
Meanwhile, Marquez collected yet another sprint and GP double, further underlining the gulf between the 2 factory teammates. Speaking to Sky Italia after the race, Dall'Igna didn't hide his disappointment. He admitted that every lost weekend was, well, a missed opportunity for growth, but he stressed the importance of staying composed and channeling frustration into progress. Dall'Igna said, "Pecco worked hard to fight for the podium, which at one point seemed within reach. The weekend started with great promise, but circumstances changed. Some unfortunate incidents in both the sprint and the GP turned things around. The key word remains the same: positive. We don't doubt our champion or the potential of the GP25. We have to face disappointment, learn from it, and keep pushing without giving up. That's the only way forward." He also highlighted the mental side of MotoGP competition, reminding the team that tough moments often magnify frustration. When things go wrong, there's always something extra that makes it feel worse. That's why we need to keep a clear head, focus on the positives, and restart from there. Despite the encouragement, Bagnaia himself admitted his patience is wearing thin. The Italian has grown increasingly frustrated with Ducati's inability to find solutions for the inconsistencies of the GP25. After Austria, he didn't hide his irritation, suggesting that both he and the team need faster answers before the season slips completely away. The numbers tell the story. Over the last 6 rounds, Marquez has scored more points than Bagnaia has managed all season. The gap in the standings has ballooned to 197 points, effectively ending Bagnaia's title defense with a third of the championship still to run. For Bagnaia, this is shaping up to be one of the toughest tests of his career. As a 2-time world champion, expectations around him are sky high. But with Marquez thriving on the same machine and rivals sharpening their pace, every misstep feels heavier. For Ducati, the challenge now is twofold: fixing the technical problems that hold Bagnaia back, and keeping their star rider motivated in a season where he is being overshadowed by his own teammate. The internal balance between managing success with Marquez and supporting Bagnaia's recovery will be critical. Despite the circumstances, Dall'Igna closed his weekend review with optimism, praising the effort of the entire Ducati squad. "Overall, I'm satisfied with the work we've done," he said. "I want to thank everyone who's been pushing so hard, especially now, when our rivals are showing such strong signs of a fight back. We must stick together, keep believing, and see this season through until the very end." With several races still on the calendar, there is time for Ducati and Bagnaia to regroup. But the path forward will require more than just raw speed. It will demand technical solutions, strategic clarity, and above all, the mental toughness to keep fighting despite the scoreboard. As Dall'Igna himself put it, MotoGP isn't just about who's fastest. It's about who can stay strong when things fall apart. And right now, that resilience will decide whether Bagnaia can salvage his season or if 2025 becomes remembered only as the year Marc Marquez took control of Ducati's kingdom. Francesco Bagnaia has admitted he is running out of patience with Ducati after another difficult weekend at the Austrian Grand Prix left him frustrated, confused, and drifting even further away from the championship fight. The Italian arrived at the Red Bull Ring with high hopes, having previously dominated at the circuit with 3 consecutive wins. A front-row qualifying performance suggested that he could be back in the mix. But instead, his campaign suffered another blow, a non-finish in the sprint race after a rear tire failure, followed by a disappointing 8th place in Sunday's Grand Prix. Bagnaia's struggles stood in sharp contrast to podium finishers Marc Marquez and Marco Bezzecchi, who, really delivered strong, decisive rides. While Marquez continued his relentless charge toward the championship with yet another victory, Bagnaia was left scratching his head after finishing 12 seconds slower than his own winning pace at the same venue last season. In his own words, Bagnaia told DAZN in exasperation, "What has been happening all year has happened again. I fight and give it my all, but this time, giving it my all, I finished 8th. The winner did it in the same time it took me to win last year. So I have the potential. I don't know why things aren't working out for me. Marco and Mark did everything better than me. That I finished 12 seconds behind on a circuit where I always made a difference is something I don't understand and will never understand. The disappointment was only compounded by the growing gap in the championship." Bagnaia now trails teammate Marquez by a staggering 197 points and sits 55 points behind Alex Marquez in the fight for second overall. Bagnaia's frustration, honestly, just boiled over as he demanded answers from Ducati regarding the GP25's performance. Despite his best efforts, he complained of a lack of acceleration that left him powerless against his rivals. "I'm always focused. I've never lost my head, but today, I couldn't accelerate. Everyone was overtaking me coming out of the corners," he said. "I hope Ducati explains it to me because I'm running out of patience." This comment is actually one of Bagnaia's strongest public criticisms of the factory since joining the Ducati project, really underscoring the mounting pressure inside the team as Marquez continues to thrive on the same machinery. Bagnaia isn't the only one feeling the strain. For the first time this season, Ducati course general manager Dall'Igna publicly voiced his own disappointment with the reigning champion's performance, describing the Austrian weekend as a wasted opportunity. Dall'Igna told Sky Italia he had a good weekend during all the practice sessions. "Yesterday he had a problem that we have to analyze, but his race was definitely underwhelming today. Every race that passes is a wasted opportunity to improve." While careful not to criticize Bagnaia directly, Dall'Igna's comments mark a rare moment of visible dissatisfaction from a figure who usually shields his riders with optimism. His words really signal that Ducati expects more, both from Bagnaia and from the development team tasked with ironing out the GP25's issues. The situation places Bagnaia in a precarious position. Once seen as the cornerstone of Ducati's factory project, he now finds himself overshadowed by Marquez, who has been nothing short of dominant in 2025. The Spaniard's consistency, winning sprints and Grands Prix in relentless fashion, has highlighted Bagnaia's struggles all the more starkly. For the Italian, the problem isn't just about pace. It's about confidence, patience, and the psychological burden of being beaten week after week by his own teammate. Running out of patience in this context may reflect more than technical frustrations. It's also a battle of belief. For Ducati, the challenge is as much political as it is technical. With Marquez commanding headlines and pushing the GP25 to its limits, Bagnaia's complaints risk sparking uncomfortable questions about whether the bike has truly failed him, or whether Marquez has simply adapted better. Dall'Igna and his engineering group now face a delicate balancing act, finding answers for Bagnaia while maintaining momentum with Marquez, all under the scrutiny of fans and sponsors expecting Ducati to dominate on both sides of the garage.